Hello everybody, my name is Alex Shred-Noslak and I'm a film critic at FilmBook. Today I'll be reviewing the 2020 drama film, The Father. The Father was written and directed by Florina Zeller, co-written by Christopher Hampton, and stars Anthony Hopkins, Olivia Colman, Mark Gatiss, Olivia Williams, and Imogen Poots. Anthony Hopkins respectively plays Anthony, who is a man that is not aging well and refuses any and all help that his daughter provides. Anthony has dementia, and this movie takes a unique approach by taking place completely from his perspective. This movie flew under my radar last year. I honestly hadn't even heard of it until it started to get awards buzz. To be honest, you don't have to do much to talk me into watching a movie with Anthony Hopkins in it, so of course, I was on board for that fact alone. But then I heard about what this movie was about, and I thought it was really interesting, so that piqued my curiosity even more. Let's jump into what this movie's main focus is, and that's the dementia. As I mentioned before, this whole movie takes the perspective from Anthony's point of view. I'd say for about half the movie or so, it feels like at least just one day, but this movie definitely takes place over several different days. His experience is definitely jarring. He has a daughter who's played by Olivia Colman, for most of the movie at least, and her character kind of shifts in and out of who is actually playing her. For a while to be Olivia Colman, and then for a different scene it'll switch to a different actor. This actually happens with all of the characters. Since one of the biggest side effects of dementia is memory loss, he's consistently just losing and forgetting who was around him. And it's very, very confusing for him. Not only that, but certain details about Anne's life and just everything that's happening around him is constantly changing. For instance, at the beginning of the movie, he thinks that his daughter is divorced and that she's moving to Paris. So she has a conversation with him about how he needs somebody else to take care of him. But then we jump forward to a different character who plays Anne, and she's been happily married for 10 years. And this happens a lot throughout the entire movie. At times it's very difficult to keep track of, but that's kind of the point because everything is taking place from his perspective. It's really sad watching him go through all of this. And Anthony Hopkins does a great job of showing how much it actually affects him. Olivia Colman does a really great job too, showing her emotions and how it affects her. But I suppose the most difficult part to grasp is whether that is actually happening or not. This is kind of a spoiler, but by the end of the movie, we really don't know what's actually real and what's not. So we don't really know which storylines that he's interacting with are the real ones. That's probably going to be a little bit jarring for the audience, but I think it does a great job of showing what this disease does to people. Not only that, but it kind of shows how it can be really frustrating for the people that surround Anthony Hopkins' character. So the story, needless to say, is amazing. As I mentioned before, Anthony Hopkins does a great job with this character. There was never a doubt in my mind that he wasn't going to be great in this. This is definitely his movie because we don't spend a whole lot of time getting to know some of the other characters. That aspect of it might make it a little difficult to connect to anyone else emotionally. We only get one-dimensional views of all of the supporting characters. We get a little bit deeper with Olivia Colman's character, but because she's consistently changing her story and all that, it kind of makes it a little difficult to empathize at times. Obviously, the main empathy factor here is that her father's dealing with this. But again, it could make it hard to emotionally connect to it because we don't know which story is actually hers. Like I said before, in all of the scenes where she is showing how it does affect her, those definitely do feel real. Dramas like this can be very slow, to say the least. However, this movie only clocks in at about 96 minutes, so I felt it was paced relatively well. Like the first half of the movie flies by extremely fast. I didn't even notice the clock going by. This movie is definitely Oscar bait for sure, but I think it's one that's very well worth watching. So I'm going to rate The Father an 8 out of 10. And that brings us to the conclusion of my review for The Father. I'd like to thank you all for watching. You can see more of my reviews on the FilmBook website. That's film-book.com. Just search for Alex Shred-Noslak. You can see other reviews and videos I've done on my YouTube channel, link in the description. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so that way you're notified as soon as new reviews are published. If you agreed or disagreed with my review, definitely leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Please also consider becoming a member on our Patreon, link also in the description. Your support helps us create more engaging content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.